Hello everybody. Today, in this 27th of January, I've decided to share with you this topic. I had an inspiration to do it at the end of the year because I feel it's a very important topic. It's a bit difficult to talk about because it's very deep, but I will try to synthesize it and give a taste of something that can be useful in our daily life to reflect. Then, of course, if someone feels the longing to deep it, I will try to do other videos, or for the one who are interested, I can help you to find videos of other people that deepen this topic more, because it's a very wide topic, and it also can give many impulses for the meditation and inner practice. That is what is more important for us. So for starting, I usually make a mantra in order to center the mind, even if we don't really make a meditation, but just a small chant to synchronize and concentrate our energy in a positive way. Om Maitreya, Maitreya, Maitreya Soha. Om Maitreya, Maitreya, Maitreya Soha. Om Maituna, Maituna, Maituna Soha. Om Maituna, Maituna, Maituna Soha. Om Karuna, Karuna, Karuna Soha. Om Karuna, Karuna, Karuna Soha. May all beings being happy, fortunate, and in peace, inside us and outside us. That this class can be of benefits of all the beings, inside and outside, in all direction of time and space. So let's start with this topic. This symbol is very important, and I will explain it a little bit better later in the class. But as you can see, it represents basically the sun. So even if without knowing it, we can intuitively see this sun and these rays. Some of these rays start from here and go outside, and some of these from the surface go back to the source. So it's a very important and deep symbol. Okay, so let's start with the first topic, that is as we can see here, Third World War. Well, of course, what is Third World War? We had the First World War and we had the second one. Well, as maybe some of you will know, there are many prophecies from different traditions, from practitioners like Tibetan monks, for example. I know some prophecies from Tibet, but also from Nostradamus, from also very simple people. Some of them, they were not even able to read and write, like the children of Fatima. So many beings in the past years had, let's say, intuitions, call it prophecies, intuition, whatever, about upcoming events. And among these, there were the First World War, the Second World War, and also the Third World War. So I think it's very important to reflect upon this. And about the prophecies, I will not go into now, but I only consider only a logic understanding of this. So, what are the characteristics of our society? Let's start from a very surface level, okay? Our society is based on very materialistic, nowadays, in very materialistic values, and some people call it hedonist because it's based on outside characteristic and values. So we can see values that are focused on the surface, on the external part of us. And this is not something bad or good. The surface can be a means of very deep and inner values. But what is the characteristic of the society nowadays? This surface is considered as the center. So we see beautiful clothes and they are like the center. They are like, even if they are produced in a very unsustainable way with very low quality materials, they are considered of value. So people that have power or money can be led to buy this kind of object in order to have a good position in the society or to express a good position in the society. So this is an example of this hedonism or so-called materialism. So it's a kind of centrifugal movement because it has a tendency of going outside, so of going towards, as I said, the surface. Also, for example, in the attitude towards pleasure and enjoyment of life, in the past, most of the enjoyments were most based on more deep sensation, even in poetry, in art, in music. Nowadays, the pleasure, it's more focused on fast and external sensation, also for fast food. So the taste of food, also music that activate some, how can I say it, some external, some more superficial receptor, more than like very long classical music can also be not enjoyed because it touched deeper frequencies of the mind. While usually, I mean, in a generic way, we tend to more superficial and surface frequencies. So, for example, in discos, there are these music that activate a lot of external receptor, and the most external also senses. So, as I said, this is not something about good or bad. It's simply a description of what we can see outside, also in political exchanges, political debates, and so on. Now, what are always trying to see it in a very neutral way beyond good or bad? What are the consequences of this attitude? Well, the positive consequences can be a sort of lightness. Like, it's very important for a person, for its also psychological well-being, to simply focus on light and external things, like simply watching, to not deep so much and to enlight the energy. And this is a positive aspect of being on the external, on the surface. At the same time, when this is exaggerated, like in our nowadays society, that in some tradition is called Kali Yuga, because it's or the dark age. Dark refers to the matter, because the light is the spirit and the matter is considered darkness for the spirit. So the consequence of this extreme attitude are conflicts, objectification, and I called it repression of inner impulses. Why? Why it's when the importance is given mostly on the surface, so also the personality, the looking, the outlook, clothes, and outside characteristic also of the personality. Someone is very intelligent, is very good in making money, or in career, or in conquesting girls or boys, whatever, or acquiring attention from people. Of course, it leads to conflicts, because if I'm a woman, I don't have the external characteristic of a man, so I can enter in a conflict mode, because if the most important things for me is the outside, this will lead to conflicts. Or also in politics, if a nation has a certain natural resources, another nation will not have. So this only focus on the external part will focus on competition and conflicts, because if I don't have something, I have to go and take from another. And this happens because basically we are not connected to the inner core. Because when the inner core, when there is a connection from the surface, so the external characteristic and the core, where we say we are one, then there's not so much this conflict, because we can, let's say, make a flow happening from the most outside and the most inside. So, for example, about sexes, a woman, for his physiological and physical characteristic, has certain attitude. Also can be more emotional, can have more tendency of introspection, so also of being more sensitive, etc. But connecting on the inner core, in the inner core, a woman also has male capacities, so she doesn't need to go and look for it on an external man. She can relate to an external man different from her, but without a sense of lacking, because she is centered in this complete center that we will talk about later. And so there is possibility of cooperation because there is not lackness. Then of course everybody needs to see it in his daily life, in his daily routine, in work, society, etc., and also inside himself. What is tendency that is in society can lead also in the internal. But remaining into society, we can see I can move, okay, on a more statistics level. Well, I didn't really deep it so much because such a huge topic, and it needs also time to really have precise datas. But just looking in a very easy way online that everybody can do, let's see what this society really create. If we look at some data upon, for example, weapons, armies, production of weapons for war, if one doesn't really see my logic, okay, and say, no, this, yeah, okay, there is some conflicts, but it's not such a deal, it's simply that multiplicity and so many differences of life. But actually, so if this is really so, why there's such a high production of weapons and armies in the world? It's astonishing. Like, checking in this site, this is SIPRI, it's the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. They collect every year data upon the production of army, and in particular this one, it's a report from 2024. It's a report on the first 100 arm industries of the world, saying that 50% of them, so 50, basically they come from the United States. And then all this, China, second place, United Kingdom, etc. But what's more astonishing is is how much money this economy produce. $632 billion. It's so much. And what's the objective of this production? It's war. And what's the objective of this war? It's just this materialistic greed. And the consequence of this are this conflict and destruction, because then it doesn't really go to nourish the core. If so much energy in terms of money and time, etc., and intelligence is led to really nourish the core of a person, it would make sense, but this way it's really like, that's why I said it's a centrifugal tendency, because it's all energy that it goes from the outside, towards where? Towards out, not for self, really self survival. It's self, how to say, like a vital, no? In the breathing, for example, it's normal. There is this rhythm in life of going outside, but then there is also another rhythm, another flow going inside. This is the law of nature. So, of course, going so much outside, then there will be a moment where this is not possible anymore. The life will need all this energy to go back towards the center. And another astonishing data that was really freaking about, like, is this human trafficking. Okay, I only checked two sites. One is the United Nations website. In particular, this office is called Office on Drugs and Crime, and this is an old report. It's 2009, but anyway, it's shocking. He said, according to the report, the most common form of human trafficking, 79%, is sexual exploitation. Then, the second most common form of human trafficking is forced labor, 18%. And worldwide, almost 20% of all trafficking victims are children. That's unbelievable, no? And like, so all this use of energy and evolution, it can be an evolution, but for sure it's not perfect, because it leads to this kind of chaos, kind of sufferance, and really chaotic reality. This other website is more actually, it's from basically this year, 2024, and it's from this US Department of State, and they do an annual trafficking in person report. So here is say, in the 2024, an estimated 27 million people are exploited for labor, services, and commercial sex. And the most specific data I found from 2024, so 24.9 million people, so it increased it a lot in 1 year, and of them 5.4 are victims of forced labor, and 20.9 actually doesn't match, so I don't know actually if it's really, but it'll be more or less this. They are victims of sexual exploitation. And then I didn't put here, I forgot, but there is another astonishing data upon the traffic of organs that is even more unbelievable. So this is what I talk when I talk about objectification. It's not something philosophical. It's really, and even though I try to make it on a level of beyond good or bad, it's simply seeing that when a human being is seen only as in the surface, as like a union of cells and organs, of course it's normal to take a person that it's only like an union of no living and not conscious parts, take it as an object and cut it in pieces for selling the organs. There's nothing weird in it if we see it from only from an external level, no? And the same about sex and labor, you know. So it makes completely sense. It's only about cause and consequences. So an external, let's say centrifugal external mindset only lead to objectification, simply, no? So and I can try. Okay, is it working? No. So this is pretty can be a pretty heavy topic to deal with and to reflect in, but it's also very important to see what is the reality we are living in. And not only on a more macroscopic level, you know, that maybe it doesn't really touch us, but also in our daily life. That's the most important thing. Because feeling in very close can also make us feel it in a more deep and personal way in the earthy level. So we saw the consequences of this attitude. What are the causes of these consequences then? For what is my reflection, but I mean not only mine, like other people that reflected on this topic, the major causes is this exaggerated mental centrifugal tendency. Because when the center go back in the essence, where the synthesis of all these external sensations lead, everything becomes different. So a sensation from the outside, so this beautiful car, this beautiful whatever organ of another human being, it's, let's say, digested, and it goes back to our core, and in our core there's no separation. So what we really experience is the opposite of a centrifugal. It's a centripede tendency. The energy can go out and see all these external things we may need, but then the energy goes back to the center. So when we would need, for example, an external object, this need we absorb innerly. So we see that also the other one is a sun like this, and so that also this other sun has his inner currents. And so maybe taking, for example, an organ from another human being is not so easy, because this organ belongs to the inner balance of another human being. And this is like an external thing. It's not only an object that we can put on us. We have a centered in our integrity and identity. So this external part need to be integrated and digested. And then we naturally feel that making violence to taking something out will not lead to fully integration inside. Maybe I'm putting it in a too difficult way to comprehend, but it's important to feel it inside, to feel this need of integrity. This inner sign is like an integrity we have. So we are not mechanical object. We can put things on, many clothes, many desires, etc. We are a very complex and electromagnetic being. So when there is the center in this essence, also the consequence of so much conflicts, etc., it doesn't come, because when the center is here, then the greed for external expansion, external attention diminish and balance itself. So we will go to eat something that really nourish the essence. We will not look for something that simply remain here without simply remain here without nourishing the center. No, it would be a natural instinct. So oh, okay, I need to train this a little bit. Okay, here we see the sun, but I want to do something else now. Okay. I need to perfectionate this technology thing. So, okay. Already spent a lot talking about this. I want to be more fast, but so I will go a little bit faster on this other two part. So, transmutation. Why do I want to talk about this topic, since that is not connected to it? The thing is that we talk about this centrifugal tendency, and this transmutation is basically, oh no, okay. Transmutation is basically, we have, as in physics of our planet, there is the force of gravity, okay, that leads everything to the center. At the same time, there is something called the law of entropy. Entropy is a force natural in this universe we live in, where everything goes to everything has naturally the tendency to go out. So like this, so even when we mix something and to lose order, to go towards the chaos. So also while cooking, we mix and we mix and we mix, things that are separated will then melt together and become like one, without identity, like simply like a soup, you know, a soup without identity. So transmutation is basically the force we put, the contrary force, that is a centripetal force. That is the force. Entropy is the force of death, while this is the force of life, the force that maintains the order. Okay, so as we saw before, there is this like magnetic field that balance these two forces, and this is what maintain a balanced life, also in energetic treatments. So we talk about in the Third World War reflection, we talk about this tendency of entropy. So First World War, Second World War, and we are pretty much going towards the Third World War. So another level, third level of entropy, of the video game of entropy we're living in. Okay, let's call it like this. And so the best we can do is to put our effort to change the tendency of the energy to go out towards chaos. And for doing this, for doing this, everyone will have his own inner practices, for a positive mind. With positive mind, I mean this mind that goes towards an order, an inner order. So even in one life, when there is a moment of really big pain, big distraction, when everything seemed to destroy, and like relationships, minds, everything collapse in the chaos, then the effort of inner practices of dharmas leading to a positive mind, make something good for ourselves in a negative situation. And so, because entropy is a tendency of fear, it's like death of values, of emotions, of the body, stability, etc. So, and so it's the effort of going against this kind of what is called negativity in this sense, and creating a centripetal force that can lead the experience of the centrifugal tendency towards the center as wisdom, as something good for us. So also in this all negative and chaotic world, the best we can do for the first time, then of course we also hope for an external change, but the first thing we can do is bring all this sensation of instability and sufferance and injustice towards the center, so that it can become something positive for us. And this is also in the Gnostic tradition of Samael Aumveor, that it's like a modern Gnostic teacher, is what is called transforming of impression. It is the first layer of the first level of transmutation, and it's first level, and it's more deeper level upon the transformation, purification of sexual energy, that is also linked to impression, to the mind and psychic energy, the vital energy in general. But this is the first thing that we can do in our daily life. And in doing so, with our practices, we can see that the same tendency that we see outside are also inside us. It's an esoteric principle of every tradition in the world, that the inside is the same as the outside. Microcosm and macrocosm are a reflection of each other. So when we can really mirror ourselves in that, everything quite magical start to change, because what was only sufferance before and a source of disgregation start to become something nourishing. So it's like inside our body we have our physical body has a digestive system that take a raw material from outside. It can also be, if it's simply put it in the blood, it's also a poison. But the digestive system has this power to transform this raw and unknown and potentially destructive object into ourself, into something cooperating with our life. So, and the same the immune system. So it's a completely change of paradigm. Because when we see the same tendency outside, we can also discover it in a mystical way. Not because I tell something, we can see from our inner experience the inner solution for that. I know it's very deep and maybe I'm dipping in too much, but I hope just listen and take what you feel you need, and what you feel your consciousness can take nutrients from and nourishment. So let's go directly to the third topic. That are brothers from the space. Okay. Transmutation is mostly something inner. Okay. Then, of course, in the practice, then it also leads to the change of energy, also change the external attitude, because it changed the thoughts, it changed the emotion, and so it changed also the action. New intuition come to what to do, maybe where to move, etc. People have more power, can also act on a political level. Other people don't have, but maybe they will have intuition to do where to go, or who connect with, etc. Because of this changing of the energy. But on the outside level, also something happened, because the same that happened out inside, we said, also happened outside. And what happened outside? As we go inside ourselves, we'll more and more discover new part of ourselves. So as there is this surface with things separated from each other, one is here and one is here, they are separated, they don't feel a sense of union because they're all separated things, you know. So when we start to reconnect all this part to the essence, on a physical level, it would be feel in the cell of a certain organ that are different from the cells of other organs, reconnecting to their original state of how's it called in English? The primary cells that are not divided, you know. So then all this goes back to the one, to the inner integrity. That is our consciousness, our essence. Okay. As we find this, so we are part of us that are external and separated, but then there are also part of us that belongs here, and they are real. We can experience in our daily life, we can experience this connection, this sun that is one, but is connected with all his ray in all these external parts. Can you see that I'm creating the symbol from the beginning, no? Because it's the same logic. I'm simply explaining this logic, this Christic and and life logic. This is how we are made of. And also outside, there are humanities that has a different level of consciousness, that they are not here, but they are centered here. So they manifest outside this part. Then I know that it can touch the skepticism and the doubts of many people. And also on this, it would be nice to make a video like on the prophecies about experiences of UFOs, not like not identified objects and so on. But and it will be very interesting. There are many experiences and videos, and many people have lots of knowledge upon that. So on an intellectual and rational level, would be a lot of research to do and to dig in. For now, I'm only focusing on the logic. Hope that this will open a door in the mindset that this can happen. As inside us, we can feel it. We can feel that there is this something beyond what I call here a solar connection, beyond the separation. A light connection. Light is beyond matter. It's a source from where matter comes, and it's even deeper, but it's focused on this solar connection. And it's the Christic nature of the universe. So what is more interesting is that everyone is made the same. So this is a person. So this one is a person. Okay? This one is another person. And they're both made from this external surface personality part. One is beautiful, one is ugly. Everyone sees himself in a different way and see the other one in a different way. But then we can connect from here and here. There will be conflict and war and sense of separation. He's different from me and he has more than me. But there is also another connection that is from here. So the centers can connect here. And creates another flow, creates other relationships. So the same happen, what we can feel inside, then we can also experience outside, and creating new relationship, everyone, without all these complicated talking I'm doing. Everyone has experienced relationship that really comes from the heart, from the essence. With a friend, maybe there can be some of these conflicts, frequencies, but then the friendship developed from this. So there is mostly this sense of recognition in each other. This feeling, oh, you are me in another shape. I am you, but in another shape. So whatever I do, it's yours. Whatever I am, it's you. It's a Christic nature, it's a Christic logic, it's a Christic relationship that we are temporarily in this Kali Yuga forgetting, and that is leading to wars, more and more wars, till the separation. But then, even though there is this connection that will last, even if we don't see these other humanities, they are there. Because we are focused here, so maybe we have difficulties to experience this. But it doesn't mean they don't exist. As inside we have all these different aspects, also outside. Why don't should be outside? There can be other humanities like us, but there could also be humanities like this. And so like inside us, this space where the essence dwell, it's called in Gnostic tradition the temple heart. And the temple heart is in the middle, in the heart, where the Father, also called the Atomos Nu, dwells and inhabit. So like inside us, also outside us in our planet, also our planet, our living planet, the living, the planetary being, I like to call it like this, we have the same energetical structure, where we have the external with mountains, so earth, water, fire, whatever elements, they are all around. But then there is an inner part, the source of all this. It's called the inner earth. And that physically maintain this state of energy, let's call it like this. And from here, it comes a magnetic field, like our energetical body, that create everything around. So in our inner practices, inner reflection, we can connect upon this. We can connect on this with and feeling that this planet Earth is like us. And from this feeling, we can really feel compassion and feel connection to what the being we are living in, the Mother Earth we're living in, is living. You can see that this is exactly the same is happening inside us. And there are texts upon these. They are very interesting. Now there is no time, but the only thing that I will read, it's a text. It's from Samael Onveor upon the brother space, trying to open humanity to this relationship beyond our society, beyond our self-destructive mindset and our self-destructive society, just in order to open to something different. This is something that I tried all my best to pass to you my way, even if it can be imperfect and maybe it reaches someone, but this is like attacks upon the space brother that also explain what this symbol is. So the text says like this: our brothers from the space. They want to establish a contact with us, but us, instead of receiving them with real respect and love, instead of offering them hospitality, we send like military airplanes to catch them. Everyone would like to destroy them. We are really behaving ourselves as wild people, as foreigners to every civilization and cultures. Sorry, it's not in English, so I'm trying to translate it, but it's very something really to reflect on. There are many evidence upon this attack, upon all these helps that these humanities from other planets are giving to us, and many examples of this violence we treat them. And this is actually the same violence and lack of trust and confidence that we are towards each other as human beings. Simply the same way we reflect to our human brothers and to also to ourselves. We are very scared to connect with our inner core. So it's time to change our conflictive attitude and to offer to our brother that are visiting us from the space our friendship and our care. They come to help us and not to destroy us. It's very, very, very deep. We need to establish this kind of relationship with the outer space, between ourselves as human brothers and with ourselves as a living being and not as object. We Gnostic brothers, we need to give the example, putting on our terraces in our houses of our country, in our fields, these signals of friendship, these rounds with the point in the center, that is this symbol I'm showing you. From this point here, they start lines that goes towards the outer part. And from the outer part, they start little lines that never arrive to the center. But we understand that they go towards it, towards the center. Let be that this point in the center, is of a beautiful golden color for symbolizing the divinity. That's amazing. Think about that. What a great representation of the Christic cooperation, of the Christic nature of life. The divinity, the mystery we come from, whatever name we give to this source of life. So powerful, it gives so much. And we, from the outside, we try to reach it. We never really completely reach it. But we go towards it. It indicates also our how to say, our being so small compared to the greatness of life. And this also create another relationship with this huge life we belong to. We don't feel like the center of the world and to be scared of. We are part of this great divinity. The line that from the external part go towards the centers can be light blue, manis and small. The line that from the center go to the circle, and that clearly connected the center to the conference, can be also them of a light blue color. That's also very deep to reflect on. This is the symbol of the divinity in the Mars religion, the religion from Mars, from the planet Mars. We can use it, put it in our house, in our field, making it with shining fires, or simply painting it to establish a friendly relationship with the inhabitants of Mars and of all the cosmos. This symbol means everything comes from divinity and go back to divinity. That's amazing what we talk about. Everything comes from the divinity in a centrifugal way. And so everything goes back to the divinity. Everything we created, the outside, is then, through the transmutation, go back to the source, like a Sufi dance, no? Sufi dance, they do like this, to remember this nature of the cosmos. It's so amazing and fascinating. So, I finished this class like this. I hope that even if I talked a lot, I hope that I was able to really make you feel the center in this amazing symbol. So as an opportunity to deeply reflect on this symbol and this aspect of the reality we are living in. So let's do now a very small meditation to absorb everything I said, as an act to make it absorb to the consciousness. I said many things, and of course I said with my outer mind, with my words, with my way of reasoning and my way of drawing, writing, whatever. And so it's very important, and now all this information are recollected back to the consciousness so that it can be digested from our inner sun in a very naive and childish way, in a very, I can say, soft way, in a more deeper language, the language of the essence of the consciousness, where we can feel a more sense of union and comprehension. So I will put some music just to relax. And we will do together this mantra, Solim, Salah, Ra. that is the mantric, the sound manifestation of this symbol. So with this sound we try to really deep into this symbol and comprehend all the information I gave you, the input I gave you, and just to feel them inside ourselves and reconnect to this way of seeing life, this way of religion, so that it can be of benefits to ourselves and to our life, in the name of the great compassion and in the name of this Christ energy. And so that the same we can do then outside. So I will put some music. I can try like this. I would like to give you the music, but also staying in this, but also showing the symbol. I'm starting with this technology thing, and I will be better and better, I hope. So, no? Okay. These are beautiful images of the earth. So you can send this positive energy from this practice to all our beautiful and amazing and compassionate planet Earth. It is so strong. It could collect in itself as a great mother all our toys and plays, how we played with all its elements, and she's so strong, it's unbelievable, so much compassion, so much. So much love, strength and power of love. So much gratefulness. Just sing for her, our great mother, this mantra for her. And for us in her. Let's sing for the divinity in the center of our heart. Let's sing for the divinity inside our earth, in the heart temple of our earth. So strong, this temple, so compassionate, so sa Great compassion. How much conflicts we have in us. How much ignorance of all the violence really happening on us, like in our planet. And so much love we have inside, in our heart temple. Let's sing for all this. Our inner eyes and heart. Let's also watch to the space. So many planets, so many stars. Let's sing and pray also for this temple heart of all this form of life, with all their imperfection and strength of love. Let's contemplate in the silence all this beauty, all this form of sufferance, love, perfection. The sense of surprise and devotion. And gratefulness. Let's contemplate all this solar and cosmic drama also in the heart of our surroundings, our neighbors, our friend, our this Christic and solar state can accompany us in every moment and in every place more and more. Remembering of this nature of us. So, I close here the meditation and the video. Thank you very much to inspire me to share these reflections with you. I like it a lot. And if you have any question or just willing to share upon this, you can write in the comments or write me in the emails, and I will be happy to share with you. Thank you very much, and a good practice till the infinite and beyond.